Welcome to the Fluffy Cow Studio. It's been a bit. I've been sick after Christmas. Things got really crazy at Christmas, and then right after Christmas, I got sick, and I haven't been able to do anything. So today, I'm finally going to upload something. And if I start having a coughing attack, I'm going to go silent and just let you watch it because you'll be able to get the gist of it. Thank you so much for coming in today. Today we are going to make a Valentine, but this one is going to be a neutral, it's going to be according to my decor, and you can make yours according to your decor as well, um, so that I can leave it up longer if I want to. I'm going to take this heart, and it wasn't quite as big as I wanted it to be, so I drew the heart and made it a little bit bigger. Then I cut it out of this cardboard with some scissors. And I made two. I don't know if I showed that I had cut the two out, but I did make two of these because I want it to be a little bit thicker and a little more sturdy. So I just cut it out, got it the shape I wanted, and then I traced it over another piece of cardboard, and then I cut it out as well. I hope you guys all had a very Merry Christmas. I had a very Merry Christmas until I got sick a couple days later, and then I was out for the count for a few days. But I hope you all had a Happy New Year, and I hope that the new year brings you lots of prosperity and happiness and good health. Okay, now that we got our hearts cut out, we're going to just use some Elmer's glue, or this is just the glue from the Dollar Tree. And I'm just gonna go all over that cardboard, and then I'm gonna match it, put my other piece on, and just kind of rub it down. I end up getting some clamps and clamping it down, but right now I am going to take some burlap fabric. I have a bunch of burlap left from some curtains I made, and I'm going to trace that heart, but I'm going around it just about maybe a quarter of an inch more so that I can glue it to the side of my heart. And here I'm just sticking some clamps on that to dry. And I don't know why I showed that, but here I am. I'm just sticking some clamps on there to kind of get it to stick good for a minute. Okay, and then I am going to cut out my heart. I'm using some nippers at first. I have got to get me a pair of scissors. Now that Christmas is over, maybe I can. I know Temu has them for not very much money, but so does Amazon. So I need to get on there and get some. And then I'm just going to use my nippers to cut them out, and then I'm going to make two because I'm going to make one for the back and one for the front. And the second one, I used my scissors because I got tired of using my little nippers. But they were pretty sharp and they cut pretty good. Okay, now I am going to take and trace another heart out. This one really didn't need to be as big as the other one, but I just used this heart the burlap heart and copied it. And then I just cut it out. Not too difficult. Okay, I'm going to get my heat gun going because I'm going to want to um, use my heat gun. I'm going to glue this with just regular school glue, Elmer's glue, or in this case the dollar store. But then when I go around the edges, I'm going to use the hot glue. And now I am going to take that burlap and then take my clips off, my clamps off, and then I'm going to glue it down. And here I trim around it so that it would fold to the side a lot more smoother. I really didn't need to do this only in a few places, and I ended up having to cut them a little bit deeper. But the other side I didn't cut any, and I didn't have any problems except for just around the top part, and the top part of the heart is all. Okay, now I'm just gonna go, and my thoughts was that I was going to glue this down and then go over the edge with the hot glue, but I ended up gluing it all the way to the edge and then just used the hot glue once we went over the edge and just did the edge. Okay, and now I'm going to put the back side or the other side on, doing the same thing, just gluing it. And now here I'm gluing down to the edges. Just making sure I'm getting all the wrinkles and stuff out. Gonna do that all the way around. And then once my glue gun gets hot, then I am going to take that burlap and I'm going to go around the edge and I'm gluing it down to the edge, or down the edge. And that is so that we have a nice clean edge when and right there is where I needed to clip it just a little bit more. But that's the only place that I needed to do it. to do that all the way around. And I will do it on the other side as well. But I got to thinking as I was doing this, it probably would have been better for me just to cut the excess off of that one, and then it probably would have been a little bit nicer around the edge. And that's the way I would recommend to do it, is to cut the excess of that one off. Just make sure it's glued secure. For some reason, I like to make things a lot harder than they need to be, do a lot more work. I think if I would have just cut it around and then just made sure that the ends were glued, I think it would have glued down. I think it would have looked a lot better. But instead, I do it this way. And as what I do with this is then I go around the edge, gluing the excess over. Now see, I think it would have been better if I would have went right here and just cut it around, cut the bottom one around, but instead I take and I go around and glue that around. And then I need to trim up the excess because it still was a little bit long there, and I trimmed up the excess. And this is going to be something that you can, the back will show a little bit unless you have it on a shelf or something. If you have it on a coffee table or a table or something, you might be able to see the back. So you kind of want it to look finished and done and neat. And then I just do that all the way around. And then I'm going to just trim. Okay, once I got that all done, I didn't really like the looks of it. It wasn't quite as neat as I wanted it. So I took some jute and went around the edges. But believe me, if I would have just cut the one end, I think it would have been a little bit better. It looked a little nicer. So I'm just taking my jute and I'm going around, and I end up going around a few times, 3 or 4 times, because I do it along the top edge of the heart, and then I go along the edge, and then I do one across the bottom edge, or the bottom part of the heart. Okay, and then this next part, my Sims card ran out or whatever, so I missed some part. I took some blue ribbon because that's the color of my interior. So I took some blue ribbon and I wrapped it around a few times, crisscrossing and going up and down a little bit. And I glued it at the edges. I didn't glue it all the way across. I just glued it at the edges. And then I had some flowers from the dollar store and I glued it to the side. Once I got that done, that could be good if you wanted to. You could put a hanger on it and you could put a hanger on it and use, hang it as a wall hanging, or you could even use it as like a memo board to, put push pins and leave little notes or whatever. You could do that as well. But I am going to continue to make a little bit or do a little bit more, and we will show you that in a minute. I don't think I show you all. Okay, here I did. I just wrapped it around a few times, and then I added some Dollar Tree flowers and some little foam balls that they had. I took a crate from the Dollar Tree and about three hearts, wooden hearts, and I painted them in the nutmeg brown. Then I glued my heart to the back of that crate, the inside part of it. And now I'm going to take a foam. I took my foam, measured it, and cut it. And I thought I clipped this out. I don't know why I didn't. But I think because I was going to tell you about what I did for the heart. But you can see. Now I'm going to take some flowers from the Dollar Tree, the same kind of flowers I put on the heart, and I'm going to put a couple in, and then I'm going to take a couple of the, okay, then as I told you, I took three hearts and I painted them nutmeg, and I took about three or four little sticks, skewers, and I painted them with the nutmeg. Now, I wrote this with some markers and I didn't like it, so I'm going to go over it with a white paint pen. And I'm going to do about two or three, I think it's about three coats I end up doing on this because it just wasn't hitting me. And as what it says is, I will love you till the cows come home. Now, in my world, that's only 2 or 3 months. but but we get the gist of it. And so I glued two hearts to the skewer, and I put one going straight up and down and the other in a little curved. And on one I wrote, I will love you, and on the bottom one, until the cows come home. And on the third one, I will write X's and O's on them. Then I set that aside to dry, and then I write just X's and O's on this one. And then I do 2 or 3 coats on this as well. Okay, then I'm going to take these little cow coasters I got from Temu. They were very inexpensive, and I am just going to paint them. You can't see that, but I'm painting them with nutmeg, 2 of them. I'm only going to use 2 of them. I'm going to paint them with nutmeg, then I'm going to let them dry, and then I'm going to glue the little skewers on them. Now I'm taking and making just a little arrangement. It's just a really simple, just adding a few of them little balls and some flowers, the same that was on the heart. And then I'm going to put After I glue my little sticks on my little cows and my um, things, I'm going to put them in. I'm going to shove them in there, and then I am going to call it good. And this is the end product, and I will show you that in just a minute. Thank you very much for popping in today. I hope you enjoyed this project. I think it turned out cute, and I hope you guys like it. Just a reminder, at the end of January, we are going to be having a drawing. If you are interested, leave your name and an address where you can be reached, or I can send you the gift that we are going to be having a drawing for. The email is thefluffycowstudio65@gmail.com, and just leave an address and your name, because it doesn't always show on my account who's all subscribed. So if you want to be in the drawing, just leave your name and an address where you can be sent. Thank you so much for popping in. I really appreciate you coming in. I love having you. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I hope to see your name in the email so I can send you a gift. Please take care of yourself. You are only one person in the world, but to one person, you mean the world. So with that being said, goodbye.